Yeah, as you can see, the room behind me is a lot more crowded than it was earlier in the day today. There's been a lot of energy and excitement and cheers and even some boos as voters watch the results on the big screen behind me. In the race for governor, Democratic candidate Katie Hobbs released a statement urging people to vote for a leader who will fight for their freedoms. While Republican candidate Carrie Lake says she is pro-life and believes life starts at conception. In the United States, more than 70 million people have a criminal conviction or arrest on their record. The picket you see beside me is just one of 11 that are planned across the U.S. today. Airline workers are demanding a new contract. Former President Barack Obama was here in the Valley last night. The overall message was simple. He hoped to encourage people to vote. Now let's head out to where the Democrats will be gathering tonight in Phoenix. Cronkite News reporter Alexia Stanbridge is there. What are they expecting tonight? We've been having some pretty chilly temps here in the Valley, but will they last into next week's holiday? This law was enacted back in September, and that's why we may see more recounts this year compared to years past. Thousands of airline workers and flight attendants picketed across the nation over working conditions today. I talked to workers at Sky Harbor to find out what they are demanding. Chants and cheers. This is what could be heard today from Terminal 4 at Sky Harbor, with dozens of airline workers turning to the picket lines for change.
It's been wrong for way too long. It's time for Southwest Airlines to make it right.
Members of the union that represent flight attendants are demanding new contracts after experiencing many complications due to the pandemic, including rude passengers.
That unruliness is directed at flight attendants because we are the face of the airline.
And this is just one of the many issues. Airline workers say they face delays, reroutes, airline technology failures, and even threats of pay cuts. Southwest Airlines says in a statement that they respect their employees and encourage them to express their opinions. They also say they do not anticipate any disruptions in service as these are off-duty flight attendants. The union and Southwest are continuing negotiations, and Mosoni says they are speaking out not only for themselves, but for their passengers.
We're advocating for our customer too, because if we fix the operational problems, that also fixes it for the customer.
Today's picket in Phoenix was one of 11 the union planned at airports across the country. In the shadow of Red Rocks, a group steered their horses into a rodeo arena to promote the importance of voting.
Voting to me is now more than just to getting like the I vote sticker.
Activists from across the country are aiming their message particularly at young, Indigenous, Black, and Latinx voters.
That's what all voting is about, is understanding what our people need and to address those needs and to further taking care of the people.
Actresses like Piper Perabo and organizations like Connecting Compton are hoping their unique transportation captures the attention of a new audience.
Horses bring us together in a very unique way. So however we're able to come together and do something that's for a bigger cause, we're down to do so.
Nonprofit organization Harness hosted a solidarity trail ride on the largest tribal community in Arizona.
And if Navajo Nation was all voting, whew, you could move some things around.
Connecting Compton traveled from California to participate in the event because their organization has a very similar goal.
There's very low voter turnout in the city of Compton, and at the end of the day, we want to increase that. People right now aren't really focused on it, but we think we can make a huge change.
From horseback to an August event where skateboarders hit the highway on the Navajo Nation.
When we show up, we are represented and we can demand change. We can demand the things that we deserve.
According to Young, the Illuminative Indigenous Future Survey showed an increase in political participation in these Indigenous communities because of organizations and events like these. Organizers did not campaign for any specific candidate or party. Their goal is simple: get to the polls and vote however you can. On the Navajo Nation, Carolina Hassett, Cronkite News. Arguments between candidates.
I currently agree with General Brnovich's position that the law is the law.
I think my opponent just admitted that he thinks it's okay to ban all abortions in the state of Arizona.
The recent abortion ruling is the focus of many candidate campaigns.
Mark Kelly votes for the most extreme abortion laws in the world.
State political parties are also capitalizing on the divisive topic.
I think it's always kind of a gotcha to go to like, well, you're going to incarcerate women who get abortions. No, you make it illegal and you punish Planned Parenthood, you punish the doctors.
Political consultants think that this issue alone may sway voters.
If you're hugging the territorial law as you're not going to provide any exemptions to that, you are not appealing to a vast majority of the electorate. And in a general election, that matters.
Republicans were well positioned up until the Dobbs ruling. This issue is actually a wedge issue for those swing voters, especially female voters in Arizona.
And Coughlin says these swing voters are necessary to win a statewide election.
I have not seen them, as I've said, vote for a MAGA candidate since Trump ran in 2016.
In the race for governor, Democratic candidate Katie Hobbs released a statement urging people to vote for a leader who will fight for their freedoms. While Republican candidate Carrie Lake says she is pro-life and believes life starts at conception. With early ballots dropping next week, organizations like ACLU of Arizona caution candidates to listen to voters.
Instead of making this a political football, as it were, to benefit their political campaigns, they really should be listening to what Arizonans want.
In Phoenix, Carolina Hassett, Cronkite News.